There it goes. Now it says you're live. I don't sound live. I apologize for the handful of people that are already here. I I sound like this, and I'll get into more of that later. But I expect this because of my absolutely incredibly poor voice and poor lighting. that this is going to be a little bit of a short show. I discovered this morning when I was trying to do some voice recording and little 2-minute takes, and I couldn't get through 1 minute before my voice started to do that. So, excuse me, I'm going to grunt and grind. So we'll do a little bit of something here. We'll do some Q&A. I will definitely do the our 2 giveaway contests today. I am not going to do a project today. I have 2 of them written up, ready to go, but they just take too much talking. So not going to be able to do that. So what do we do? Well, we start out with an introduction. Good Pi Day Friday. I haven't seen or heard from Scott. You know what? I didn't even test my audio. I'm looking at my my indicator on my microphone that says it's going up and down as I'm making sounds. I've never even noticed that before. So I always have this alternative method, but whatever's causing this nonsense. Oh, okay, good. Thank you, back channel. Whatever's causing all this nonsense is also causing me to be just incredibly brain fogged. Okay, it's probably not the cause of that. I had to get up early to do some recording and to do show prep. And so there wasn't much sleep last night. And there's drama going on Discord and man, I've just got a mess here. I haven't even set up my lighting. Sorry, stand by. Going off camera for 1/8 of a second. Well, I saw some a couple interesting reports about being off camera this week. I think one of them was on Discord, another one was on Reddit. And the story goes, one poor person completed his exam and was in the survey thing. And he was so excited that he passed his exam that he jumped out of his seat and went over and picked up his phone to text or somebody. And his proctor killed the session and said, your exam has been canceled and you can't contact me or talk to me or do anything about it. And so the guy opened up a ticket with the powers that be over at Pearson VUE. Excuse me. And they said, nah, don't worry. You completed the exam. It was scored. It's in, you passed, good luck. But ostensibly it was because the guy thought it was because he had a phone in his hand or got a phone in his hand. But I asked him a little bit about it, and this guy was on Reddit, and he said, I asked him if he, where was the phone? That was my question. I said, wait a minute, your phone was so close that you were able to grab it and, text somebody and tell, why did the proctor even allow you to start if your phone was that close? And they wrote back and said, no, it was over in the other part of the room. I got up and got off it. And I said, okay, well, then it would seem the reason is probably not the fact that you had the phone. They probably already made the decision before that happened, as soon as you go off camera. Now, this proctor seems to be a little bit out of his mind since the test was done, but some of them are just super insano strict, and some of them not. There seems to be a great deal of inconsistency. I am taking an exam in mid-February, possibly sooner. My progress is going very well. I can't do it here at home. My office is just too much of a wreck. I have way too many techie toys surrounding me way too closely, and there's no way that they're going to allow that. So I'm going to look at doing it at the office. We have a portable testing center there. I may even have it, do it in the office, being proctored by our proctor. Or if that's not possible or practical, then I'm going to go to an on-site one. But even if my office were pristine and there was no techie toys around there, I much prefer on-site, because if anything goes wrong, I can fold my arms and say, what did you do? Fix me. Because that's happened to me as a Pearson VUE proctor on more than my share of occasions. Thank you very much. So I don't want to have to solve my own problems and deal with the finickiness of, excuse me, of a proctor who seems to be, very inconsistent across their lineup. All right. How did I get there? I shouldn't talk all this much about anything that's not tightly related. Today is mostly going to be about Q&A again, because I don't have a project. So if you got questions, CompTIA, Raspberry Pi, technology in general, anything but religion, politics, and this pandemic. See, I don't have to edit myself for the thing that I was about to say there. Then by all means, post those. In the meantime, just in case you're new to this game or watching this on the archive for the first time, I am David Rush, or just Dave. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars, and this is Dave Rush's Ask Me Anything, or drama, right? So we do this every Friday, 2 o'clock Central Time for usually 2 hours. It ain't going to be 2 hours today, I promise you that. And then this is part of the Mike Myers Total Seminars series of live AMAs that we do every week. Mike does an hour or so on Mondays and Wednesdays, same time, same channel, and gives us this time to get together on Fridays for 2 hours, and it makes it all even. Scott is hip deep in project. He and Michael Meyer, not Mike Smyer, but Michael Smyer. There we go. They're down at the office doing prep for the upcoming A+ shoot. We got a lot of writing to do first, but we already know what kind of cool new equipment CompTIA is talking about in the next generation A+. So that's been ordered, and they're playing with that and doing some other things along those lines. And meantime, I'm working with Michael Smyer on the phone, getting problems with my recording system that we're doing here as a work project. And Andrew Hutz is working the back channel. Andrew, stay close. If I lose it before contest time, I'll need you to join up. You've got the link on the back channel, and do the voice half of the world. So appreciate your hanging around for that. So Andrew Hutz is working the back channel, writer, man, interesting guy. Get to know him on Discord, get to know him here, ask him questions. His background is wonderful and incredible. His skill set is so varied. But one of the things that I learned about him recently, and I don't think I knew this, is that he just kind of turned tech. Now he's built gaming rigs before and things like that, but he's really just recently turned his focus on certifications and learning this stuff in a formal fashion. And he is deep into it and has a great deal of expertise already in A+, Net+, Security+, hacking, pen testing, and all that in just the last couple of years. So he's a sharp guy, but anybody can do this if you put the kind of time and effort that he does into this. I should mention also, even though Scott's not here, he'll get word on this thing. And Andrew, last week, both Scott and Andrew did yeoman service, work in the back channel. I had bazillions of things for them to do, and they were lickety split on it. Everything happened just great. My kudos and thanks, you guys. I could not have done last week's show without you, and I probably won't be able to do this Sheiks, see? Whoa, without you. So what do we do here? We get together every week and talk about tech while we're isolated during the COVID pandemic crisis. And as you can tell from my voice, I had joined the Rona Club. I'm done with Corona. I just have very slow healing throat and lungs from an injury that I took about 30 years ago. And the doc said, it's just never going to heal. You're going to be very, 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 very slow. So if Rod Stewart and Kim Carnes got married and had a child, and then they fed the child razor blades, that would be my voice. I think I saw Tullowit here earlier. I'm not looking at the feed yet. Tullowit wasn't going to be here, but Tullowit will get both of those references. Kudos. And anybody else who knows who both Kim Carnes and or Rod Stewart are, you're showing your age, my friend. Hey, this is the 75th one of these that we're doing. Can you believe that? 25 away from, what is that, 6 weeks or 6 months, 4 weeks a month, give or take. In 6 months, we'll be on our 2-year anniversary. Oh, do those, did that, read that. All right, let me throw up one slide here. Anything else that's interesting, and then we'll get on to questions and see what's cooking. Slide. Hey, the contact slide. So this is an Ask Me Anything. It works because you ask me questions and I post responses, and then usually, or I discuss responses, and then usually about halfway through the show, we stop and do some kind of a project. We punctuate that with a couple of giveaway contests and then answer more questions at the end. We're going to obviously adjust a little bit today, but if you can't post a question in the YouTube chat feed, there are other ways to get in touch with me, and I encourage you to do so. Share screen, pick a screen to share. Wow, my system is just doing wacky, insane things today. I said to myself earlier, you know, it's been a week since you rebooted. You should reboot today because it occasionally does some wacky things, and it is doing, I can't share the screen with you. How's that? So if you want to get in touch with me, do it by email, daver@totalsem.com, because I'm Dave Rush and I work for Total Seminars. Same thing, if I want to talk to Scott Jernigan, he's Scott J at totalsem.com. Andrew Hutz is Andrew H at totalsem.com. And if you want to talk to the big man himself, Mike Myers, shoot him an email. He loves to get emails from you and talk back. And you never know how far down the rabbit hole you can get with him. I've seen him set up phone calls with people and say, look, we got to talk about this. But he's Michael M at totalsem.com. Okay, so that's not going to happen. All of my cool slides are not going to happen. I gave some stuff to the back channel for posting, so we'll go from that. So let's go see what's on la YouTube chat for today. That's French for cat, as you may know. Tullowit did punch in at 141. I know you got another commitment, so glad that you're here for at least some of it. Thank you. Sorry, I read ahead here. Oh, look at you. You posted a Discord link. Okay, I'm going to talk about that when I get to the link, because there's things to talk about with respect to Discord today. Will Shaw is here. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, DNS commands today. It was going to be DNS commands today. I was going to do two flavors of Nslookup, the Windows version and the Linux version. And then within there, there's two subcategories. They can either operate interactive or command line. And then we were going to talk about dig, which is a Linux native, semi-native command, and host, which you probably never saw as a DNS command. So I've got the course written. The good news is hopefully my voice is back in shape on Friday, and we can do a really fun show. And it'll be short, be interesting. And I also have another one that I was writing earlier in the week, and then I had some trouble with it. I had to contact the author of the how-to that I was using to get a little help. And actually, it turns out I knew the answer. I was doing it right, but I screwed up something earlier. I had set a password for something, and whatever I typed, my normal standard stock password, I must have typoed it because it didn't work when I tried it 87 different ways. So I wrote the guy and said, hey man, I set this password here and it's not working here. He said, no, is it the wrong password? And I asked him some technical questions, and he said, no, you set the password back at this step. Okay, well, I'll try that. So it didn't work. And I thought, well, there goes, that blows up my whole presentation, because if I don't know this password, I can't continue. And that was only about a third of the way into the process. Excuse me. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. I let that stew for a couple of days. And then one day I said, there's got to be a way to clear a corrupt, lost, missing password. And didn't take me long to find it. I was able to do that. And then once I did, the project completed in short order. And the whole process takes, I don't know, there's one step that takes 20 minutes. You hit the go and then walk away and come back 20, 22 minutes later, something like that. But the rest of them just go lickety split, boomity, boomity, boom. And that's going to be installing a program called Cacti, C-A-C-T-I. It's a network monitoring utility. It is the network monitoring utility for, now, not just, we're not talking about monitoring packets or stuff like TCP dump or Wireshark or something like that. We're talking about managing networks, everything from that single server you have at your house up to tens of thousands of servers. This is one that everybody uses. We use it. At least we have used it in the past. I haven't asked Michael Smyer, our MIT guy, our IT management guy, if he still uses that, because he evaluates things. But by far away, most popular network monitoring and management package out there. And so I'm going to do this, the DNS thing, the next show that my voice works, and then probably 2 shows on Cacti, one to install and the other to operate. And those are going to be the next 3 shows. Hey, got ahead of myself. Sipping iced tea with lemon. Kind of helps. Will Shaw playing hooky from work. If you don't know, Will is a pilot, shouldn't be here. Saw a big winter storm on the East Coast. Yeah, I love the big storms. We were East Coast based. I was in Middletown, Pennsylvania, Harrisburg area. And man, when the storms hit the East Coast, all of my flights were impacted and they got canceled all over the place. And when you're a pilot in a union shop, and they all are, you pretty much get paid for sitting on your butt and waiting for somebody to call and say, hey, go get on this airplane and ride to such and such and transport this one, or do whatever, or we're going to try and make this flight happen, go and be captain on that one, or whatever the case may be. But Will is doing something that we used to call a killer problem. It's a medical problem. Meeting is now streaming. I hope I didn't lose track with everybody here. On a day that you want to call in hooky, you would call in and let them know that you were having an eye problem, and then you hang up and tell your wife or partner or whatever, yeah, I just couldn't see going to work today. Sahil, it was good to see you, my friend, at 158. Glad I'm not that person. For the record, not sick, just dropped the trip. Okay. Hello from Sunshine and 75 in Brooksville, Florida. Rick Allison at 1:59 just before the show started. Welcome, Rick. Nice, good weather if you can get it. We're not bad here. We're in the mid 60s, or mid to high 60s. Beautiful sunny day here in Houston, Texas, or thereabouts. Alan Duggan, our old friend, is here. Andrew Hutz does our greeting today since Scott's out. So Andrew is being Scott. You can call him both. He's got his wrench. Don't make him use it. That's his band hammer, but he can post email addresses and IP addresses and URLs and things like that. TD Washington's here. I'm giving up on your old name now. You have become TD Washington. I will no longer refer to you by your name, but I will never forget it. I liked it. Tolowit's still here. 20 minutes after he posted the first one. Ping is here. Hello, how are you? I am fine, other than I sound terrible. Thank you. Sounds fine to you, huh? Yeah, raspy voice. Catch some virus. Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I caught the virus. Everybody was done with it within a week. It's just slow recovery from my voice. Rick Allison, social distancing. You've got it. Congratulations. This one is hard to avoid. I'm a fairly good guy about being paranoid about spreading some of this stuff. I'm not perfect. I am now. I got to tell you. I make my wife sleep on the couch because it's more than 6 feet away. Oh, wait a minute. It's the other way around. She makes me. So, yep, I had it. The kid had it. The missus had it. The kid was just over the last of his symptoms before he returned to his dorm in college. And there was, great consternation. What's going to happen when, is your roommate going to panic and all that stuff? Eddie's here. Eddie, I think I've seen you in the past, but I'm not certain. So if you're a new face, welcome. Nice to see you, sir. Sahil, why DNS records are so important for hackers and how they use for penetration testing. Well, look, if you're hacking, one of the first things that you're going to need is the IP address of the thing you're going to hack. Yeah, some hacking tools may be able to make appropriate DNS calls internally and find IP addresses, but you need IP addresses. And if you're a hacker, one of the things you want to do is to cover your tracks. And so if I'm using a browser and I say, first of all, I want to find out if there is a website at www.reallycoolawesomeplace.com. I'll put that in my browser. And what happens in the background is my browser will stop. It's going to make a DNS call, find out if in fact that site exists, find out its IP address, and then start building packets to actually communicate with that. Now, what have I done? Well, I did two things. I learned the IP address of the destination, or at least my browser did, and I have exposed myself, right? Because that browser left fingerprints all over this place. So I'm going to go do independent research with DNS search utilities to find out the IP address of the thing that I want to hack. And then I'll use my hacking tools that leave little or no footprints and start what kind of hackage that I do. A lot more to it than that, but that's the general basis for that. And that's not always the case. It's not 100% the case, but it's a starting point. I'm going to encourage you, Sahil, to come on over to the Discord channel. I've got the link posted a little bit down the ways here. I don't know, about the 2:10, give or take. Let me see, someone will get it. Meeting ID. What is meeting ID? Post the Discord link at 2:11. Okay, at 11 minutes past the hour. Join up there after the show, and we got some great folks who are very knowledgeable in hacking and pen testing and can give a much more thorough and complete answer than I just did. By the way, I love it when it gets down here because I can drop into those base registers that I used to have when I was 17. Carla Rain is here. Nice to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Andre's here. So I think I saw him earlier. Rick Allison. Hope you don't get sick. Yeah, Andre had it. He had the real one a little while back. You know, it won't be long. We'll just look to the list and say, had it. Oh, haven't heard your report that you've had it yet, but you probably had it. Dan Richards is here. Nice to see you, my friend. Wow, lots of good new faces in here. I know why. Because I'm so interesting and you were so desperate to find out about my DNS query routines today, right? No, it's because I got a CompTIA exam voucher sitting hot and heavy in my pocket that CompTIA has given to us to pass along to you. And I got a free practice test coming up later this show. So we got stuff to give away, and I'm glad you're here to participate in that. See people talking to each other. Scott and Michael going to shoot. When Scott shoot, Andre. All right, I read the rest of that one. I don't have to answer. I have a tendency to do that. I start reading and I start answering before I get to the end. I caught myself this time. Yeah, achy. I had Omicron, and I had this as part of the whole thing, a lower backache for 3 days. I mean, it was intense for 3 days. And I was sucking down 8 acetaminophen every day, or every 6 hours. And finally, after day 3, okay, I can go without. And the next day I went with 2 or 4, and then I was finally done with it. But ooh, that was not comfortable. JM is here. Never a greeting. Say hi, JM. Nice to see you here. And then ask your deep, technical, insightful questions that you always have. So you read, as did many of us, Ukraine government just got hacked recently by Russia. Yeah, today. Do you think that's the result of months of work, or is it something that nation states have the capability to do in short amount of time? I think the answer is both. I think that they do months and months and months of prep work, identifying the vulnerabilities, creating the utilities to exploit those vulnerabilities. And then when somebody says, green light, go get them, they're able to run their hackware and perform the task in short notice. And I'm sure internally, I have no experience hacking on a level like that. So that's total supposition on my part. So if anybody has any greater experience and says, Rush, you're totally off track on this one, this stuff is really easy and they can just whip it up in 10 minutes or something else, feel free to chime in. That's my supposition. I feel very confident that that's probably accurate. Where can I contact you if I have tech doubt? Says Sahil, you can contact Andrew at andrewh@totalsem.com. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Andrew, who does have good experience in this, says, yeah, I'm pretty well spot on that. So you can contact Andrew Sahil at andrewh@totalsem.com. You can contact me at, your question is tech, and it's geared up Andrew's alley. So write him. If he needs to forward it on to me, he will. when is CompTIA going live with 1101, 1102? We have no knowledge, because we're NDA'd, of such numbers. We had Dr. James Stanger from CompTIA on Mike's show a couple of weeks ago and asked him that. They don't get any higher than him. He is the chief technology, I can't remember the title that evangelist. There we go. He's the evangelist. He's out there pushing the technology and the classes and the information, and they don't even give him that information. So is there a new set of objectives and new exams coming out? Absolutely. Everybody knows that. In fact, we've kind of let a little bit of the cat out of the bag. We have the objectives, and we are beginning to develop the next book, the next video series, the next set of practice test questions, and all that. But they haven't told us anything. They haven't even told us if those are going to be the numbers 1101 and 1102. So we didn't. When I make a list of everything we know, it starts and begins with the objectives. When are they going to retire the 1001 and 1002 classes? I was on that website today because people ask me that all the time. To be announced, to be determined. We don't know. Now, we know that they delayed the normal retirement date for the N10007 Network Plus exam by about 6 months. It's going to be in June, end of June, something like that, of 2022. Normally, it would have wiped out about now, January or February. So our supposition is that the same thing happens with current Core 1 and Core 2, 1001 and 1002, and that puts it into late summer. It was launched on January 15th of 2019. So normally what happens is 3 years later, a new exam gets announced, and then 6 months later after that, the old exam gets retired. But there is nothing posted on any official sites. People do this all the time. Mike has a problem with this. I have a problem with this. They'll write a message. Hey, the exam is going to retire and then they put some date or month or whatever. And our first question is, where did you get that? CompTIA hasn't even told us that. And you don't get closer to CompTIA than we are. Well, I heard it. I read it on a website. Well, unless you hear it from an authoritative source like CompTIA or us, when they tell us, and they tell us that we can tell you, we don't know what's going on. Sorry, man. Sorry, lady. Whoever that is. Now it's Rick. I'm going to presume dude. Tell you what, I'm halfway here with my Betty Davis eyes. Yeah, another great example. Go ask Kim. Okay. I super scrolled, but I highlighted. There we go. Andrew, I'll share a Discord link several times during the show. Andrew, maybe not. Get together with Andre de Goyert over on the Discord channel and ask his thoughts about posting the Discord link right now. There's, as you are aware, some background drama, and there was discussion about whether or not it would be fruitful to post that today. So contact him on the Discord channel, and then whatever you guys come up with, feel free. I'll talk about it when I run into that link, which is in very short order here. Well, so hopefully I'm able to get into Discord today. I had some issues in the last 2 AMAs. Okay, the others, you shouldn't have any trouble accessing Discord right now. Where can we join Discord? So Andrew posted at 2:11, that very next question, a Discord invitation link that will work today. Something has happened to the Discord channel, and right now it does not seem that there is a valid owner. They're working on it. Jose Braden set this up, and then something happened to Jose's account, and he was the listed owner on it. There may or may not have been another one, but whatever's happened, he can't get into the owner account. So the Discord channel exists. It's static. We can't add any, well, they can add new subforums and things like that to it, but whatever the things that the owner can do to it can't be done. So there are long discussions going on about what to do about it. They're going to continue to try to resurrect the owner account? Are they going to build another Discord server? We don't know. But right now, the Discord server, as it's been for a little under a year now, is working. You can get on it. I'm on it right now. I posted some stuff this morning. This has been ongoing for 5 or 6 days, something like that, and everything works. So by all means, after the show, you know, I'm kind of talking myself into having a working voice here, he says as he coughs. So we may have a full-length show, and if my voice maintains, I will be on the Discord channel after the show, and invite you to join us with cameras and microphones, or just text in, and we can have a real conversation with face-to-face. It's a little saltier than we run things here. Very, very G-rated here. Some people are less so over there. Let's see, Stone Anvil Studio, sure thing. Well, you know, I remember somebody with a Studios account name a long time ago, back in when Mike first started doing the shows, and I remember looking it up. Can't remember if it was Stone Anvil, but that sure seems familiar. So if that's you, welcome back, and if it's not, welcome. Now I'm sad. Mike has never returned my emails. Maybe they're going to his junk folder. No, he asked me about you, and I said, don't return his emails. I'm kidding. He does get somewhere in the 200 to 400 emails a day, Will. So, you know, if there was nothing there that said, I really got to respond to this guy, maybe that's why, because he doesn't get a chance to respond to everything. But one of the things that he respects is tenacity. Okay, so if you've written him and you didn't get response, write him again. And if you don't get one in 1 or 2 days, write him again. He really does appreciate tenacity. Thanks, Andre. Took the words right out of my mouth. Jeremy Parker is here. Greetings, my friend, my favorite pen friend. And Joey Quetzal's here. I saw your notice on LinkedIn about your new position. Congratulations. Feeding off the breast of the state government, but okay. Work is work, right? Jam at 2:18. If you don't have timestamps turned on, turn your timestamps on. You'll know if I've gotten to your question or not yet. And if I missed your question, that happens. Back channel will try and remind me, but if they miss it, just post it again. But make sure you check and see what time stamp that I'm working on right now to see if I've actually missed your question. It's 2:18. If you posted yours at 2:25, I haven't gotten to it yet. All right, Jam, did you prefer flying on routes to international destinations when you were a pilot, or did you prefer flying to airports within the US? And was communications difficult when flying outside the US sometimes? If it's a place I haven't been to or haven't been to much, any new destination, any destination made me happy. There are also certain destinations, both internationally and locally, that were absolute favorites. What was it? Which town? Providence, Rhode Island. Man, that is not the tourist trap of the world, but it, you know, it certainly has their share of tourism. But they have just some amazing and wonderful things that I love to go to. Great restaurants in there. The most comfortable beds I have ever slept on anywhere in the world, at the Sheraton, Providence, Rhode Island. That would be, oh man, I got a Providence trip. Cool. I hope it's an overnight. I hope it's not an out and back or something like that. And of course, first time you go to any new place internationally, of course, I've flown a good deal in the Middle East and from the Middle East, all over Europe. And I like them all. I like best the places where I'm comfortable with the language, got some decent German under my belt, good French, a little bit of Japanese here and there. And then if not, I was always bone up on a handful of phrases when I was going to a country that has a language that I'm not strong in, and at least be able to get by. Obviously you can get by in English most places in the world, but it's a lot more respectful and enjoyable if you participate in the local language and culture, right? And Will's going to wind up doing more international work as he goes on the big iron. Jeremy Parker, IP spoofs help sometimes. Sure. Yeah, if we want to get into hacking. So yeah, if I'm going to hide my identity, I'm going to spoof my IP. But doesn't help me get to somebody else's thing, just helps me hide my tracks. Catherine's here. Oh, good to see you, Miss Catherine. Hi, Dave. Hi, gang. Darius Bryant's here. Hola. Andrew at 222 has posted again the Discord link, so we know it works. That one didn't work either, Andrew. Something on my end. Huh. Yeah. Oh, no, wait a minute. Will, you know, well, you've been there before, but for anybody else who goes, uses one of the Discord links, if it says expired or can't get in or something like that, click harder. Literally, click more times on the same link, on the same link. Look around the page for the continue anyways. These links will let you in, even if they're expired or retired or whatever. Yeah, it worked for Stone Anvil Studios, so it's working. Maybe your Pi-hole, maybe your ISP is blocking, some other kind of blockage. Try a different machine. Try it on your phone. Don't use your Wi-Fi on your phone. Try it straight from your, excuse me, your cellular connect. Unable to accept invite message. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I'm not a Discord guru. I'm just a participant. Rahabar posted and retracted at 2:31. Okay. Let's look for the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel with Discord itself. You'll find it. Okay. Okay, and then Rahabar. Yeah, Rahabar is posted again at 2:33. Can you please explain the difference between boot configuration database, boot manager, and boot loader? I've never heard of a boot configuration database. You're talking about the boot conf file. Sure. Okay. Boot manager is in charge of booting. It is in a UEFI system, the first program that loads up after the power on self-test. And he's responsible for getting Windows loaded. It's called boot MGR, boot mugger. Now his job then is to read the boot conf configuration file, and that will say which operating system, if there's multiples, is the one that should be booted, because you can change that with bootrec. With one of the other utilities. It's been a while since I played in that area. I apologize, I'm forgetting a couple of things. But anyways, there's a configuration file that lists all of the bootable operating systems on this computer. Maybe you got a bootable Linux on there. Maybe you got bootable Win 10. Maybe you got bootable Win 11, Win 7, whatever the case may be. And each of them has some different load parameters. So those are all kept in the boot configuration file. And so the boot manager reads the boot configuration file and learns a couple of important things. One, which is the active, the one that's supposed to be booted right now. And then it's going to read in there, where is the bootable operating system file for that particular OS located? Does it start in sector 2468 or 27,904, whatever the case may be? Then it's the boot manager's job to go to that sector that holds the, excuse me, I'm checking your words here, the boot loader, which is the bootable, it's the boot files that get that particular operating system loading up, and to load those things into memory. And then he says, okay, I'm out. Now it's up to you. So boot manager manages the boot process. First thing he does is read the boot configuration file, learns which operating system is supposed to be booted, learns what sector on the storage device or what block on the storage device the boot programs are for that OS. Then he gets them loading into memory, and they will continue the boot process for that OS for Win 10 or Win 7 or Linux or whatever. And meantime, the boot manager exits memory. Hope that helps. Good question. Oh, Rick Allison passed Net Plus last month, which was only a couple of days ago. Congratulations. Total Sem is very pleased to have assisted in any way we could. Dan Richards, this is JM. I read that the airport off Tegucigalpa Honduras was one of the most difficult to land because of the short runway. I think they have a new airport now. Yeah, so there's a bunch of the ones located all throughout Central America. That's one. Quito doesn't have a short runway, but the approach into there, it's in a canyon basically, and you've got to skirt the canyon walls, come in tight, get low, land in Quito. In the US, Eagle Pass has a similar thing to Tegucigalpa. I can never pronounce that right, because it is a sloping runway that's on a three-way canyon. And so you go in and it's not too bad because you get to land uphill. That helps slow you down. And the high altitude, you need some help there. But other way around, on the way out, you got the high altitude, you got a short runway, and it's no problem if the plane is operating just fine. But I used to teach for flight safety, and we had to teach that airport to everybody because all the wealthy go in there with their light jets. And we would send them down the runway after having trained them very thoroughly, because this is so critical on how not to die. We kill the engine just at the speed called V1. They do what they call a V1 cut, and they have to continue the takeoff, and you're down in the mountains and the valleys here, but you've got to climb, and you've already got high altitude working against you. And then there's this long process that you have to go through to gain altitude and get yourself in a position that you can return to the airport and land safety. Wow. Well, there's tons of little island runways like this. They're very short because the islands are small. So you got to nail it right at the threshold. You got to get on the brakes. You got to get on the reversers and stop well before the end. Or you're going to, when you go off the end, you're going to wind up into a short rock wall or into the water. I'm trying to think of a couple others like that. Honduras is one. Martha's Vineyard is one. It's not short on both ends, but it's short on one. All right. Pilot talk. JM, use a helicopter. Right. Problem solved. Buonasera, Alex. Nice to see you, my friend. Ciao. There we go for the greeting. Buonasera. One of the few lines I know from La Boheme, which was not written by an Italian, but jam. Okay, reading questions are passing 236. Eski's here, won, I believe, a voucher a week or two ago. By the way, I just got a notice from a couple of people who have received vouchers that were submitted while the folks at CompTIA were on vacation over the holidays. So I take that to think that they are caught up or catching up on all the old backlog stuff. And if and when you win a voucher this week and upcoming weeks, you can expect to hear from CompTIA in fairly short order. I'm still, until I get confirmation directly from my contact there, going to put in my confirmation email to winners that delays may be possible because of the holidays. But once I get that confirmation, I'll take that out. And right now it's called maybe possible, but I don't think so. JM at 240, is it necessary to memorize all the different commands along with the switch letters, such as -I, -R for Linux Plus? Mostly no. You got to know the commands, you got to know what they do, but no, they don't expect you to know all of the details. So if you're going to do like an ls -L or -A or whatever, no, they just want to know ls is the command that you use to find files. Almost caught up on questions here. People talking to each other. Rahabar. Okay. At 242, Rahabar says, can you explain the difference between system restore and last known good configuration? In which scenario is system restore and last good configuration should be used? Okay. Let's start with system restore. System restore says periodically during a number of automated triggers, Microsoft operating systems make a backup of certain files and settings. And those backups are saved in a special area. So what gets backed up? The registry gets backed up. All of the boot files get backed up, all the things that are associated with boot files. The partition table information gets backed up, or if it's a master boot record or UFI or GUID table, all that stuff gets backed up. And it's a really, really amazingly quick backup process. Now, there are certain kinds of events that will render your system unbootable, or in a situation where you should not boot it. One of the common examples, I don't think this is the best example, is you get infected by malware. So step number one, malware can infect the files that create system restore points, or they get backed up during system restore points. So one of the first steps that we do is we turn off Microsoft's ability to make restore points. And it has all kinds of auto triggers, like every time you install a new application, if X amount of days, I think it's 2 days, have gone by and an automatic restore point hasn't been created. And there's a number of other triggers. So we got to turn that off to make sure our malware doesn't get introduced into the system restore points or processes. Then you do all the other recovery steps necessary. You're going to boot from a different operating system, boot from external media, something like that, run your anti-malware, get the system cleaned out, deal with any damage that's happened, any, not just infected files, but I've seen malware do things like put the hidden attribute on every file that you have. And that happened to my missus sitting next to me today one day. That took me weeks to get solved. And then when you finally get done with it, now you've got to return your system to some semblance of bootability. And you got to go back far enough in time as far as your registry settings are concerned and all the other stuff that you know it was before you were infected by your malware. And so we're going to re-enable system restore functions. And then we're going to go into the system restore menus and we're going to go back in time and pick a restore point. And it's going to take a little while. It's going to take 10, 20, 30, 60 minutes, depending on your system and the complexity of it. And it's going to take your system back to that point in time as far as the registry was concerned, as far as the drive partitions were concerned. You're not going to lose any data. So if, let's say you make a restore point on January 1st, on January 5th, you install a new word processor. On January 10th, we're going to do these in 5 days increments, you create 10 new documents. And on January 15th, you get infected by malware. So you do all the stuff that I said. Now you're going to go back to a restore point on January 1st. What are you going to lose? Well, the files that were installed when you installed the word processor are still going to be there. However, they're not going to work because they were put into the registry later than the time that you're going to go back to. And the registry says, I don't know anything about that. That's just some files that somebody stuck under C:root program files x86 or whatever. The data files, the 10 documents that you created with that word processor, they're still going to be there. So what you've got to do now is get rid of that old installation, manually delete them, or use a new installation that will clean off the old one and reinstall the software. So that's the nature of restore points. Last known good configuration is designed to solve a hardware or a driver problem. You installed a new piece of hardware while the system was off. You power it up, it blue screens. Now, maybe that blue screen was because of a problem with the hardware itself, or because of the way you installed it, or because before you installed it, you installed a new driver, excuse me, and that driver crashed when you booted up, again, because of a problem it has with the system. Well, you're going to power down, and you've got one of two choices. Try it again, having reseated the hardware and everything, see what happens. Maybe that fixes. And if you get the blue screen again, then you're going to take it down. You're going to remove the hardware. You're going to power it up again. And if it works, cool bananas, no big deal. But if it blue screens again, this will be your third boot failure in a row, and it's going to bring you to the rescue menu, the advanced repair options menu in the pre-boot execution environment. One of those options is going to be last known good configuration, and that's going to restore settings to the point just before you did the before, and not just before, the last time you did a successful boot. So it's not as comprehensive as using and resetting all the files that were done in a system restore point. But it'll take you back to the last change before you add a new hardware or a new driver. Long answer, right? But that was the answer that it needed. That wasn't one that I just extended unnecessarily. Hope that helps. Okay. I'm reading Andre's message to Alex at 2:43. Dan Richard talking to Alex. Lots of people talking to each other. That's fine. Knock yourselves out. Somali, my good friend, in I believe Maryland. How can I renew my A+? I don't understand the CE or the CEUs. Okay, first of all, ask yourself this. Why do you want to renew your A+? If you need it as a credential for your current job or for another job that you're pursuing, I'm going to give that a maybe, not even a, okay, go ahead and do it. Once you've achieved A+, put it behind you. You have that knowledge and you will continue to extend that knowledge based on the thing that you do with your career. What your employer wants to see is not that you kept A+ certified for more than 3 years, 6 years, 9 years, 12 years. They want to see that you moved on with the next generation of certification, a network plus, a security plus, something like that. And by the way, if it hasn't expired, if you've got A+ that's still current and you go get network plus, that will automatically renew your A+ to the same date as you pass your net plus. That happens again when you do security plus. If you've got A+ or net plus, when you pass security plus, those two will renew if they were current at the time you passed sec plus. You cannot renew a certification that has expired. You have to go back and take the test again. So I'm going to presume that the nature of your question says, excuse me, I need a sip. It says your A+ is current. And so there are a couple ways to renew it. And I don't have the link in front of me. Maybe Andrew can look this up. You or Andrew can just do a quick Google on renew my CompTIA certification. And there is a website. They have a web page that will tell you 3 or 4 different ways. And I'll give you one of them. I'll give you the CE and the CEU method, since those are the two you asked about. CEUs. CompTIA holds regular online forums. What you have to do is sign up with their CEU program. It'll cost you $45 US. And then you attend their online forums and programs. And for each one of those, you get a certain amount of hours. And you'll have to check their website to see how many hours you need to recertify for specific things. But that's their CE program, their continuing education program. With CEUs, same thing. You start by enrolling in their continuing education program, and then you pursue educational forums like Udemy classes and Lynda classes and things like that. And when you get your certificate of completion, you submit that along with the facts of the class, how many hours the class was, the fact that you've completed it and whatever, and they will credit those hours or some percentage of those hours toward your renewal. When you get an appropriate number of hours, then you will be renewed. Again, you must do that while you must achieve all of your hours while your certification is still current. All right, hope that helps. And keep an eye down on the feed here, and Andrew will let us know if he has found that and posted the link. Reading past conversations here, looking for, oh good, I'm almost at the end. Again, I was there before, but I gave 2 long answers and I chewed that up. Yeah, okay, Rick Allison explained just what I did in much shorter format, thank you. Boy, Dan and Andre are having a great conversation. You guys need to get together on Discord. Kevin Lopez is here. Kevin, thank you for that post on the Ukraine hack today. Okay, Andrew posted the link to the CEU program at 2:54. Thank you, Andrew. All right, that gets me caught up at 254. So let me go dive into here. 254. I'm feeling like catching up on my notes, and then let's do a contest. Andrew, this is going to be the Ttl contest. All the back channel information is there. And I've got a slide for it, so I'll post that slide when I get that far. Oh, and sometime, Andrew, when you get a chance, I think I posted on the back channel the info for the specials of the week. If you would post that, please. Sorry, reading my notes, checking to see what I missed here. Last week was I'm looking at my typos. I see my typos sometimes a week later. We looked at editing deterrent controls to our SSH server. Didn't happen. Yeah. I don't have the PyR Square Zapdos server up today because I had no new documents to add to it. If you ever need it up, if you want to get some of my old archive documents off of there, just send me an email, dave.r@totalsem.com, and tell me when you want it up and running, and I will leave it up and running for you for a couple hours before and after. Don't schedule the hack, just schedule getting the documents, please. News, tricks, techniques of the week, making headway on my Linux course. I think I just achieved last night, halfway through, about 9 hours in, 9 hours to go, something like that. Okay, Andrew, you looking for the discount bundle specials this week? Andrew just posted them at 2:55. I'll get to that when I get to that live link after the contest. Code this week, because some of you are already familiar with the bundle, is Rubicon, because Monday was January 10th, and in the year 49 BC, on January 10th, Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, defying Senate orders, leading to a civil war that would ultimately make him dictator of Rome for life. I thought that was something we should mark. Anyway, so making headway on this Linux Plus course, halfway through it. Man, it's challenging. I'm just dealing with this presenter. But I will use much of the information from his class, and I am simultaneously working on my own while I take his, and it's going to be good. Reading my notes here. That's not up. Not doing that. No old unanswered questions other than Wilshaw, were you able to get your Chromium Widevine issue solved? As if not, we'll get together in real time and work on it together. I'm not going to do, because of bad voice and time, the Friends of Show. So on then to today's Total Tester giveaway. We're going to give away a 90-day access to any of our Total Tester online products. The Total Tester program is really cool. It mimics in many, 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 many ways the experience that you'll have when you take a CompTIA exam. In fact, Michael just completed a new feature on it that he's got posted on our internal server. He keeps bugging me to try it, and I have just been so busy that I haven't been able to, but I will before Sunday night. I got a list of things to do for company and whatever. This feature is something that we didn't have. We used to have back in our old software package, but not the online package, where you can stop a test in the middle of it. You can't do this in the real test. Well, you can, but it will stop right there. The timing will stop right there and everything. Walk away, go to bed, get up in the morning, and pick up right where you left off. So you can basically pause your test. Used to be, if you stop a test somewhere, you were done with the test. All you could do is review the answers of the questions that you got around to, but that's now fixed. You can now go back and complete it. So it's cool stuff. All right. Rules of the contest. You may submit one answer. I have 4 answer choices. This is a multiple choice question. They are not A, B, C, D choices. They are words, and you must type in one time the correct word. Previous winners of any of our contests, vouchers, or Total Tester Onlines are eligible to win. However, we do try to weight it a little bit. So if you've won a lot lately, we're going to might not see your name in the top of the list, you see, so that a newcomer gets a chance to sort of share in the joy. Understand what I'm saying? So today's question is multiple choice. This is not a question from our total tester database. This is a question that I made up because it's kind of in line with a lot of things that I've been doing in the last week or so. I've created a question that belongs in the A+ Core 2 exam. This is such a fine question that I will probably submit this to our question database, and it will be brilliant. The background on this thing, in the 220-1002 Core 2 exam objectives, CompTIA wants us to know certain basic Linux commands. In fact, we read objective 1.9. It says, given a scenario, use features and tools of the Mac OS and Linux client/desktop operating systems. And they have a list of commands from both of those worlds that you need to know or know about. And so here comes my question. Oh, let me get a slide ready to go. Oh gosh, let me see if I can show you the slide. Because if not, we're just going to have to read it to you, and it's short, it's easy. Share screen, no. Okay, I'm going to be reading this one to you, but they're very, very easy to remember answer choices. And I'm so sorry. Okay, the question. Have I built up the suspense long enough? Here we go. What is the name of the command in Linux that is used to delete a file or files? 4 answer choices: rm, mv, cp, dd. I'll give you that question again. What is the name of the command that is used to delete a file or files? 4 choices: mv, cp, dd. Romeo Mike, Mike Victor, Charlie Papa, Delta Delta. So let us take a look. I see lots of answers coming by. A lot of people know this stuff. Man, loving you guys. Somali. Thank you for the DOS response for the Windows command line. It's a good idea, even if you see somebody who's posted what you believe to be the right answer, to also post that, because you never know what order is going to appear on my machine. It'll always appear first on your machine. I see some people putting the word pass after theirs. Cool for yours. Kevin Lopez wasn't one of the choices. All my choices had 2 letters. And that command, of course, is used to accomplish something else. All right, well, I see winners. I don't. In fact, I see almost everybody here had that one down. I went too easy, but that's all right. That tells you when you go get that question on the Linux exam, you will be right. Let me entertain me. I'm going to, I got to make some notes here on my systems before I announce it. Agreed back channel. It's exactly what I see. So I got to put that in my handy dandy little notes file here. This one, save that. Okay, our winner happened right at 3:01. It was Patricia Grace with RM. That's remove. You can use it to remove both files and or directories. You might need some more powerful flags to pull that. Everybody nailed that one. I went too easy, but look at you guys. Look at all these people who are getting a good, strong handle on Linux. Patricia, TC, Will, Bravo Mike, Somali, Sahil, Kevin Lopez with your remove directory command. Shame on you. Darius nailed it. Ayub is here. He nailed it. Andre, surprise. TD Washington, you bet. Catherine passed. Rick Allison had it. Joey had it. Everybody had it. So congratulations to you all. I have to revisit learning Linux, Kevin Lopez. You have so much study material. I think there's a big contest between you and Siegfried. All right, very good. Congratulations to Patricia Grace. Patricia, send me an email with, I've got this email before, but I need it for the records. So send me an email with your YouTube name, your real name, and your email address in the body and which total tester you want. And send that to daver@totalsem.com. Let me post that here. Andrew's typing. He's probably posted that in the back channel, and he's posting that. So I'm going to wait a minute while I go read here. I saw the article that you posted about Linux. She's one. Too late. I already said it. However, that may be true in the next time. All right, let me post the what to do for winners thing, and I'll have the other post for the voucher contest ready when that happens. So total tester winner. All right, I have posted that at this. Oh, you just posted it. Okay. Andrew posted the what to do about winners. There we go at 3:05. Okay, JM, I saw the article that you posted about Linux and why companies want it. Yeah, I posted that one a little while ago. Definitely great resources, good techniques and tools to learn Linux. We got some Englanders here. Job hunting in UK is a little different than the US and a lot of other parts of the world. And so I posted on Discord a couple of days ago, Monday or so, give or take a day, a great article written by somebody on Reddit who detailed what they went through as a UK job hunter and what prospective employers thought about the certifications that he had and that he was pursuing about ITIL and A+ and things like that. Posted in there. Do check that out. And if you can't find it, send me an email, daver@totalsem.com, and I will send you the link to that. And y'all will find it. But if you look now, say if you just do a search in Discord for whatever name I use there, drushtx, I think, or Davar, I don't know. You'll find all my posts, and it's only a few days old. My pleasure, Patricia Grace. Thank you. Patricia, you are the queen of putting emojis up. All right, let me shrink that. I'll save this for the voucher winner. Andrew, I'm assuming you have the voucher winner announcement, so I have mine highlighted in case when you don't have it. All right, back to notes here. So not doing a project this week, sad. It was really cool. This is about where we would get into it. It would have been a short project, 3 commands. Okay, very good. Thank you, back channel. I do want to show you one thing because I got a lot of time to kill. My voice is kind of doing okay. More use, the better, right? Not always, but let me, maybe. Now let me see if I can share this with you. I probably can't, but I'm going to try. Hang on a second. I'm establishing a VNC connection to one of my Raspberry Pis, RASPBERRY. And now I'm going to see if I can share that with you. If not, I'm going to tell you about this. Save this, go to here, share screen. Nope, it's not in the shareable screen list. Share sound up to, wow, I never saw that. There's a share sound in here. We might be able to use that in future. Optimize your video, click advanced files. Nope, can't do any of those. That's a shame. Okay, is what it is. So let me tell you a little bit about something. There are 3 DNS query commands. There's more. One that's natively built into Microsoft operating systems, and that is Nslookup. And that same command also exists in the Linux environment. Let's come back to that in a second. What I want you to know about Nslookup in either environment is that you can run it in interactive mode. Just type in the command Nslookup, and you'll find yourself at a caret prompt. And then you can put in commands that Nslookup understands. That's the good news. The bad news about that is there is no help when you're in the interactive mode. And that means if you don't know the commands that you want to use in there, you're stuck. And the only one that anybody ever remembers, I guess there's two. One, you can specify which DNS server you want to do, perform your research for you. You would simply say server followed by the IP address or the DNS name of the DNS server that you want to take advantage of. The other command in there is just let it use its defaults and just type in the name, the DNS name of a resource that you want to do a DNS query on, www.google.com, from the caret prompt, and it will send back information. Lots and lots more, but you can't get help, or there's no /help or the word help or anything like that within that environment. So how do I get help with Nslookup? Well, if I were doing my presentation today, what I would do is I would share a screen with you, a connection, a command line connection to a Linux host, and I would type in the command nslookup space -- help, and it would fail. And so I'd say, oh, wait a minute, -- help isn't a supported flag in nslookup. Let me show you something that does work. And then we would fire up the man pages for nslookup. We would type nslookup. We would type in man space nslookup. Man is the manual. It says, show me the manual documents for this thing. And then in there, you will see all of the switches that can be used in the command line. And you will see all of the, excuse me, sip time. All of the commands that work in the interactive mode. Cool. Except it would fail again. Well, maybe that's true and maybe it's not. Because here's the problem. There's 3 common DNS lookup commands that exist in the Linux world. One of them is nslookup, one of them is dig, and one of them is host. Some distros include one or more of those, and some don't. For instance, Ubuntu, the current, at least the last 2 major revs, include all 3. However, the current version of Raspberry Pi OS does not. And in fact, it has not included 2 of them since 2016. It's been 5 years since nslookup was included. That's why that command would have failed. And dig is missing as well. The only command that they support for DNS queries by default is host. And this is true for other operating systems, other Linux operating systems. Good news, my friends. There is a quick and easy fix, and this little fix will close off today's discussion. If you've got a copy of Raspberry Pi OS or some other Linux distro, when you try to run nslookup or dig and it fails, all you have to do is install them. And they and a bunch of other DNS utilities are all packaged together. All you have to do is a sudo apt-get upgrade, apt-get upgrade. One more time, we're not upgrading, we are updating. Sudo apt-get space update, or sudo apt update. Give it a couple of minutes. That'll make sure it finds all the current and relevant packages out there. While you're at it, you might want to do a sudo apt upgrade or apt-get upgrade. Get your operating systems and all your existing packages and files current. But then once you've updated, now to install the DNS utilities is really simple. Sudo apt-get or just apt install, one word, no spaces, all lowercase, DNS utils, DNS UTILS. It'll load up in between 30 and 50 seconds, something like that. And now you will have dig and nslookup. You still can't do nslookup -- h or help. That doesn't work, but you'll have the man pages for it. And this is the kind of stuff that we're going to hit again in next week's show, because it looks like I probably could have done this week's show with just enough voice exercise. But who knew? So there we go. All right, back to questions. That concludes today's project. To be continued. I am in the chat feed passing about 306. Andrew declared, I love that. Congrats, Patricia Grace. You deserve it. Yes, drama is a project in and of itself, to be sure, Andre. Dan Richards, Total Seminars channel, Dave. Yeah, I'm in as David Rush, so just do an @David, and that'll get me. I'm not logged in as Total Seminars channel. Got any pie projects planned throughout 2022? Man, do I have pie projects planned throughout 2022. Let me bring up my projects document. As I said, I'm going to do these DNS utilities next week. 2 weeks. For the following 2 weeks, I'm going to do cacti. And now let me open up a document, because I keep a list of all the things I want to do, and then I reprioritize them every week. What should I do next week? Oh, I'll tell you what the big one coming up in February is. We're going to do a Nessus 10. I've been in contact for 2 months with the nice folks over at Nessus, and they have generously and very kindly created a special version of Nessus for us to do our program with. Their normal trial Nessus doesn't last long enough for me to learn it and share it with you. Where's my feature? I got to go get it from here. Standby. So they made me a one that lasts a lot longer. When we're done with it, you can get your own, download your own version of it, and it will come to objectives, network plus, that's over there. This is the one I want. Go up here. Oh, that wasn't the way to get it, fool. I was doing that the hard way. Standby. Stream, drama, more documents. Nslookup, yesterday. Feature ideas, there they are. Buzz, buzz, grind, grind, grind. Here's one that I've actually had on my list for a long, long time. This is the very first one that I entered, is looking into the details of some commands that we don't all have a good handle on, like chmod. But let me go down to the very end of this file and just note some of the things that I've made recently. I discovered this doesn't work. Oh, what a shame here. How about a high availability setup with 2 pie holes? High availability is a concept. It's not software, where you create 2 identical resources that can either one works and the other one doesn't until the one fails and this one takes over. They work collaboratively. They work in an automated takeover system, all kinds of things. So I'm going to show you as a project how to create, take your pie hole. Many of you have pie holes, and many of you looked at my episode and never did it. This will be a reminder that you ought to do it. How to set up 2 pie holes so that if one fails, the other one is ready to go and nobody will notice the failure. There's one that Tullowit found that I put in my list: how to make a real-time multimedia protocol streaming server and player with Raspberry Pi. I started an SSH series on hardening SSH. I got one more that I want to talk about on that: how to disable or enable SSH root login access and other SSH access limits. We've done a couple things with SSH. We did keys a while back. We did banners 2 weeks ago. So that'll be the last thing that I'm going to do. There's lots and lots of ways to harden SSH. That one's kind of fun. What's this one? Oh yeah, the deny hosts program. It's an IPS that's specific for SSH, and it's very old, and I'm having a tough time finding current how-tos on it. They stopped supporting it, and people are kind of keeping it alive, but in a very informal fashion. I got some hardware projects. How about, oh, this is going to be my big project, end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter, a 4-node cluster. Now, we've done multi-node clusters in the past, but this was one that we're all going to have to start getting a lot more familiar with. And I found a really good, easy process to do this cluster. It's going to be a 4-node cluster with containers, Docker containers, the main management engine of the containers is going to be Nginx, and we're going to provision it with Ansible. Not a one show thing, but look, if those names, if you haven't heard those names, you're not playing in the arena enough yet. These are names that you should all have heard, though I don't expect anybody to have a great deal of experience. We did a Docker episode one time. It was great. It was awesome. It worked like a dream. And so now we're going to expand that. So what you're going to have is Docker running 4 different identical web servers. It's a load balance thing. We're going to use Nginx as the load balancer. So somebody makes a call in, Nginx gets the request, and it says, which of you is due to handle this thing? Maybe we set it up as round robin. Maybe we send it up as who's not busiest, whatever. And then to create and fill out the Docker containers, that's called provisioning. And Ansible is a program that's responsible for provisioning containers and for bringing containers online when they're needed and taking them offline when they're not. We call that the other thing, rapid elasticity in AWS, where you can take all that stuff and boil it down. I got a lot more projects in this list. I'm not going to read it to you all day, but fun stuff. And if you have something that you would like to do on Raspberry or Linux, or that's CompTIA related, send me a note, daveR@totalsem.com. And if we can find a way to do it and make it practical, by golly, your project becomes my project. Reading my notes here. Okay, back to questions. And then after questions, we're going to do another contest for a voucher, which is probably about 10 minutes or so. Sip time. I'm going, excuse me. Oh yeah, forgot the Minecraft server. It's in my list. It's so far up from the other recent ones. In fact, I got online the other day and started working on a Minecraft server. And I stopped only because I started this Linux Plus and I wanted to keep my head sort of focused on that. But man, the Minecraft server, the other reason that I stopped is because recently, as you may know, Raspberry Pi updated from, I never remember the old one, to a new distro, to the Bullseye distro. I should have written down, I have it right up here. I always, what's my current RPi OS Bullseye? Whatever the previous one was, not Bullet, but something like that. That's what Minecraft was written to run on. And there have been some changes in the Bullseye distro that are causing people to have problems running a Minecraft server. I've seen a number of people's workarounds, but they're not consistent. I did this. Well, I did that. Well, I don't want that. I want one that we can do consistently. So I'm waiting for the Minecraft people to come up with an appropriate fix. So this will last until the next generation of Minecraft on Raspberry Pi comes out. So apologies for not getting to that. I definitely have my sights on it, but lost it. Will likes Dig better. Okay. You know, they're all purpose built. You get some things with Dig that you don't get with Host. Will, if you haven't experimented with the Host, I didn't know about the Host command until a couple of nights ago when I was doing my Linux Plus, and that the presenter is very much into Host, much more so than he is in Nslookup and Dig. At least that's the one he spent the most time on, and he sounded the most knowledgeable. Oh, shame on you, Kevin Lopez. That's at 312. That's a Tullowit line if ever there was one. CentOS has all 3. Okay. CentOS 7, because CentOS 8 doesn't exist anymore, but Will likes those antiques, so good for him. Nessus is nice, only costs 3,000 pounds, except for the free trial, which is free for 30 days or something like that. I think good comeback, Patricia Grace at 319. What about setting up a VoIP server on a Pi? Piece of cake. The software to do that is Asterisk. And I've looked at it, and setting up an Asterisk server is a gimme. but I haven't gone past setting up that server. Does it use standard VoIP phones? Does it use Cisco phones? Is there such a thing as standard VoIP gear? I don't know enough about that I have taken that under consideration. I do actually have it in my list, but the list starts with research VoIP. Then if the equipment is achievable, do an asterisk install. So yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's going to be a good year, Dan Richards. Valeria, a name that I absolutely love, is a bit disappointed in me because mine, yeah, I apologize to Valeria. I'm so sorry. I will put some thought into speeding up and using one of the workarounds, and I will contact the Minecraft people who run that server directly and see if I can get some insight from them on what they think the best approach is. Let me put that in my TTD file here. Show notes. There they are. Get down to the bottom of that. Contact, Minecraft, bullseye functionality. Save it. Okay. Because it's the 21st century, right? We don't use paper. What the heck? Oh, Rick Allison, Raspberry Pi come out with 64-bit OS yet? I got an 8 gig Pi, but a 32-bit OS. Okay, so you're asking two questions there that are going to surprise you, Rick. The 4 gig limitation that exists in Windows 32-bit operating systems is not a limitation of 32-bit operating systems. It is an artificial limitation that Microsoft included into their 32-bit OSs. I know, why, right? So 32-bit Raspberry Pi OS absolutely can access all 8 gigs. I got 2 8 gig machines running right now. I can access it all. It all works great. But that's not your primary question. Primary question is, do they have a 64-bit OS yet? Yes, they do. It is considered beta. There are at least 3 notable features that are known to either not work or be buggy. Now, they're niche features, and not everybody needs any of them. And for those folks, you can use this beta version. It's not available in the Raspberry Pi Imager selection menu, and it's not in the regular download area menu. I don't have that link offhand. Rick, send me an email, daveR@totalsem.com, and just repost this exact same question. I'm going to post it here in my things to do notes. In case I don't get an email from you, I'll have an answer for you the next time I see you on Discord or on an AMA or a drama. And I'll have that link. But if you send me an email with that question, I will send you the link. It's on the Raspberry site. It's official, but it's not officially supported. And you can play with that. Trisha Home came home early, sick, kind of cool to win and be able to join drama. Off to bed. Good night, Patricia. Understand. Hope it's not the virus. Yep. All right. That takes care of that. I'm caught up. And the time is 3:28 and 30 seconds my time. Man, there's a piece of junk. There's a feature, there's a hack that you can do in the registry to make your Windows 10 machine show the time to the seconds. That hack has been removed in Windows 11. And there are things that I do, like starting the show on time, that needs to be done to the second. That really bites. So if and when I get forced into updating this thing into Windows 11, I'm going to have to use my phone and click and then put the phone away real quick and wait the 4 more seconds. What a pain. So I hope somebody comes up with a decent fix for that. All right, let me go into my notes about how to conduct another contest. I'm going past all my DNS presentation. There we go. Contest for the CompTIA I'm sorry. Now we get the hiccups. Everything is right on schedule, huh? Contest for CompTIA voucher. Voucher is good for any CompTIA exam, possible exception of CYSA, anywhere in the world that they are offered. Winner, today you're going to send me an email with some info that Andrew's going to post. Andrew, you can post that now, and then we'll post it again afterward. This will show you exactly what you need to send to me. Copy and paste this. Everybody copy and paste this and follow everything in it. I hate getting an email from somebody that's got a missing piece of information. I got to do back and forth, especially if you're in a time zone when you get to bed. If I get your email today, and the same for today's TTL winner, Patricia Grace, I will be able to submit that tonight, and they will have it on Monday morning. You wait, everybody gets delayed until I get that last person in, because CompTIA wants me to send all of them in from the week at the same time. So when I get your information, I will send that all the winners to CompTIA, and they will do whatever they have to do, and they will be the ones to get in contact with you after I've sent it. It is out of my hands. Don't call me in and tell me I haven't got it yet. And you can call me and say, did you send it in? And I can say yes or no. Oh, sorry, you got lost. But since I started this process, no one has been lost in the shuffle. I've gotten everything out. And to my understanding, everything is now getting caught up. If you've won a voucher before, an exam voucher, you may not win today. You can participate. Just put the word pass after your winning answer or your non-winning answer. I look up the database to see the names of all the winners ever since we've started this. Again, these are rare and expensive things, and we're trying to make sure that people don't pile up on them. We want lots of people to have an opportunity to win one. So your chances are definitely way better if you've never won one. Let's see. It's going to blah, blah, blah. Okay, today's contest is going to be similar to last week's contest. It's going to be a random number. I have used a random number generator, and you're going to select, because the body count in here, a number in that range. You may submit 5 guesses in that range. They must be on separate postings. I don't want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever the range number is going to be. And closest to, without going over, wins today. Andrew, you have to help me find this one since it's just the two of us. You've got the winning generated number on your back channel. It was at the start of today's stuff. Note to self: do not read generated number out loud. Good, because I was actually about to. Good thing I make these notes. Okay, everybody ready to start? You're going to type in a number. It's going to have 5 digits in it. And it will be 5 digits between 10,000 and 20,000 inclusive. Again, you may post 5 guesses in separate posts, closest to the number that our random number generator generated without going over wins. All right, let's see them. I have nobody who's posted anything yet. I win. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take my my Linux Plus test mid next month, and I got to pay for it just like everybody else. So if I can find a way that they'll let me participate, good golly, I will. Okay, I have a closest to without going over so far. I think there's going to be closer ones. Come here, you. Highlight. Oh, okay, there we go. Stop it. Man, there is a thing that YouTube has been doing on mine and Scott's system where we can't scroll using a mouse button. We both thought our batteries had died. All right, I can scroll down, but once it gets down to the bottom, I can't scroll back up. Jamie Leon, the range is between 10,000 and 20,000. 55,000 is a little out of range. Yeah, I'm just reading, looking for close ones. Well, the one that I see right now that is the closest, I haven't gone down the list yet, is a previous voucher winner. Sorry, man. Oh, wow. Oh, I see one that's probably gonna win, but I super scrolled. Let me go back and get it. Where'd you go? Ooh, that one was close too. Okay, about 30 more seconds. We're going to take entries. That's how I can do that. Just reading numbers here. Oh, when you find out how close you were, but you went over, you will be shocked and disappointed. Reading answers here, reading answers. Oh, wow. Oh. That one is so close. There's no way anybody's going to get closer. That one was close, but not closer. Whoa, close. All right. Well, we have had a lot of guesses and there have been some close ones. I'm going to close off right now with the last entry that I see. Goodness, people are still. Okay. We're going to close off with Andre de Goyert. His note that's got the emoji on it. So let me see here. I'll tell you what the winning number is. I'm going to go put this in paperwork. You can figure out if you're the winning number, and then we will tell you who we think the winning number is. And by the way, right or wrong, we are always right. Winning number that our generator made was 18,585. So if you were closest to without going over, stand by. I got to go do a file entry here. 8.5. And back channel. Yes, I know. I believe he is. Andrew, now you're going to make me double check, which is a smart thing to do. Stand by. Oh, he won one. He won one. You are no, that's today's. No, he is completely eligible. You are good to go. Okay, winner is Kevin Lopez, an old timer here. Congratulations, Kevin Lopez. You had it with what was it? 18,475 out of 18,585. You were close by 110. So if you got closer and I missed it, I apologize. It happens. We operate in good faith. If you think you had it closer and you were before Kevin, well, then you would have won that one. But that's what we picked for the winner. We'll do this again on Monday. We'll do it again on Wednesday on Mike's show. We'll do it again next Friday on my show. You get 3 of these every week. So congratulations, Kevin Lopez. Andrew is posting the what you need to do and what you need to send me again right as we speak. If you get the opportunity, please send me this email today from your New York City location. I'm only giving that away because you posted that. Back channel, it begins. I don't know what that was from. Okay. Hey, Andrew, send Michael a message that tell him that I told everybody about his new TTO feature. Thank you. And that I will try it this weekend. I can tell him that afterward. All right. Congratulations, Kevin. So you're going to send an email to me, DaveR@TotalSem.com. You're going to include your YouTube name, your real name, your email address in the body of the email, exactly which exam you're going to test in by its number, 220-1001, N10-008, whatever that number is. You go by the name because there are some that have same names but different numbers. What country you're going to take the exam in, and what state, if you're in the United States, you're going to take the exam in. As soon as I get that, I will bundle that with the other winners from this week, and you got yourself a voucher of your choice. Awesome, guys. Congratulations. All right, back to notes here. That completes that stuff. Did I save this? No, I didn't. There we go. Though I can probably remember Kevin Lopez, huh? Oh, okay. I see what Michael posted in the back. Very good. 337, Andrew posted the how to get your claim info. If you got any other questions, now's the time. I'm going to take whatever questions are. I got very little left in the show in my notes to talk about. like almost nothing. Somebody already beat me to my thunder. Upcoming episodes, and my big one is Nessus 10, the DNS query utilities, and cacti. And so my plan in order, and now Nessus might get pushed by 1 week. I'm not sure how long I got. I'll have to learn it, but DNS stuff next Friday, cacti 2 Fridays after that. And then after that, Nessus. The company rig is better than mine. Yeah, the company rig, whenever we do a shoot, is always better than ours. And then it gets taken apart and staff says, I want that RAM. I want that CPU. I want that motherboard. I want that video card, and so on and so forth. I don't know if I'm going to stretch it to the end or not. We'll see how it goes. As I have completed everything on my notes, I don't see any questions happening. So let us do this. Let's post, Andrew, one more time, both the Discord link and the specials link, and I'll talk about them for a second. That'll kill 3 minutes. Fingers Christ, David Mueller. Rabar, you post and you delete. I never get a chance to see what your posts are except for the one. See if there's any questions that I missed up there. You know, I usually expect some funny numbers. Nothing. You got 5 digits to play with. Man, I would have done something. Ooh. Okay, so at 3:40, Andrew Hutz posted the current Discord server invitation link. You can just click on that link or copy and paste it, browse to there, and if it doesn't let you in right away, it should. But more specifically, if it says expired, then beg your pardon. Click harder, look around, try again, do whatever it takes. There's something on that page that will let you get in, continue anyways, or something like that. We're going to get together on Discord with mics and cameras after the show. Those of us who have those, you don't have to have them. Come on in and text with us. But if you got a camera and mic, introduce yourself. We can have a real conversation, talk in depth about tech issues. There's a lot going on that server. And if anything happens to that server, there'll be another server with all the same stuff. The world holds its breath. But we've got Linux sub forums and study group forums and Raspberry Pi forums and technical help for my computer forums and lots and lots and lots of great stuff there. We've got 550 plus users on there, and there's experts in all kinds of fields. There are people with no background. They're just hanging out. They want to talk. They want to learn. They want to ask questions. Wherever you fit on that spectrum, come on in, join us, and help us out. This is the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. We don't own it. We don't operate it. It was set up by a nice gent, a good friend of ours named Jose Braden. He's the owner of it, at least way is at the moment. The world holds its, just an all-around good guy. And we really appreciate the time and effort that he's put into this in setting it up and growing it. A lot of the attendees here are moderators on that channel. So if you go over there, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. Scott Jerningan's there. Mike Myers is there. You'll see him under the account name Tobar, T-O-B-A-R. Tabor. Tobor. There it is, T-O-B-O-R. It's robot spelled backward. I had to spell it backward in my head. The other thing that I just need you to know, Andrew posted at 3:40, is we have a discount program that's just available to people who watch these AMAs. And this week, as it's been for a little while, we've got bundles that are made up of an ebook for a particular CompTIA certification and a matching set of practice test questions. You bundle them together. Just pick an A+ ebook and the A+ total tester, put them in your bundle, in your basket at the, Total Sem website, www.totalsem.com. And then when you check out, use the code, we mentioned this before, Rubicon, as in Caesar across the Rubicon, R-U-B-I-C-O-N, all lowercase, and you will get 50% off that bundle. We have bundles for A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, Cybersecurity Analyst Plus, CYSA, Pen Test Plus, Amazon, AWS, SAA, Systems Architecture Associate, That's it. So all of those have ebook and total tester bundles. Encourage you to pick those up because they are already cheap. So when you get them, thank you, Andre. And Tolowit's still here. Hey, can I please explain a login script? Sure, loved it. Login scripts don't exist in Windows. The only thing that exists in Windows, Andrew, can you ask Michael to hold off posting there for the moment? It's very distracting while I'm trying to do this. Tom will close off this store in about, or the show in 10 minutes or so. Thank you. Login scripts. Okay, so the closest thing that Microsoft Windows has to a login script is a thing called a banner. And if you just look up, set up a banner in, excuse me, Windows, you'll find about 4,700 links to show you how to do it. A banner is a message that posts at login time. It'll post either before login time or after login time. Now, a login script is like a banner, except quite literally, it's a script. It's a series of steps that the computer will do when a given account logs in. There are global login scripts. Same login script applies to everyone, and they can be personalized. If login name equals Fred, then run these steps. Some systems have a proprietary login script language, and others, like Linux, they can just run a bash script. Again, that can be customized for individual users or can be global or some combination of either. So it's some kind of script that runs. Now, it's been a while since I played with Windows, and there's always a new rev coming out. So let me take back my first thing. It's possible that Microsoft Windows now has login scripting, especially because they have for the last year and a half installed better and more powerful versions of WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, or Windows System for Linux. And so that may be something that exists in Windows now, but if it does, it's not anything that's on any of the current objectives for A+, Net+, or Security+. That may occur in the future. And it's certainly important stuff to know in the real world, especially in the Linux world. Okay, login script, says Dan Richards. You can use a login script via a group policy, either as batch or PowerShell. Okay, so you can use PowerShell or a batch file. That's interesting. In group policies, I will explore that tonight. That would be great. Thanks, Dan Richards. So again, it's the same thing though. It's a script, PowerScript or batch program that runs at login time. And usually, I'm going to say almost universally, they run after your successful login. One of the fun things I used to do with a login script when I was picking on coworkers and doing a little pranking back in my Novell days, it had a proprietary login script and it was global, and I was the system administrator. And so I would say something like, if login name equal Tolowit, run logout. Every time you would put a little message up first, your account has been disabled on this system. Please contact the administrator, log out. And Rush, what are you doing? But it wasn't Tolowit because he doesn't know my actual last name. All right, well, 10 minutes to go. Looks like questions are dried up. I'm dried up. Here it comes. Wilshaw. Andrew tried 3 systems and can't get into Discord. I wonder if my username was accidentally blocked. Tolowit, you are still a moderator over there. Would you check and see if Will Shaw's Discord account has been mangled? He's C210 pilot, I think. Something that starts C210. Might be C210 Cessna, I don't remember. I remember C210. Because it's a Cessna 210, which is a really nice airplane, if you get the pressurized version and stick with 2-blade props so you can get some altitude and take advantage of it. I love 210s, but only that one. The unpressurized, what a waste. All that power, no altitude. And cannulas, don't get me started. little oxygen tubes that you stick in your nose so you can get at higher altitudes, but they're not pressurized, and it's just not it's just not a happy experience. Oh gosh, yes, IT pranks are great. There we go. C210 Pilot Guy is his name over there. And Andre can check that, and any of the other moderators here. Will Shaw, I think you have sent me an email in the past. Send me a fresh email today. Just an email. Hi, this is Will Shaw. And if anything turns up about your account, the guys will let me know, and I will send that on to you via email. Does that make sense? Normally aspirated, unpressured. 3 blades. Come on, 3. The only thing cool about 3 blades is they look cool. Same for 4. But you lose all that efficiency and the inability, or you gain the inability to get over mountaintops at 14.5. Ugh. Still, good airplane, right? I had a lot of fun with that thing. Okay, well, let's close things down unless there is any other secrety stuff. That's, come here, you go over there. Boy, this is a weird thing that I've got up. I don't have the I don't keep the control page for YouTube up. It's all, it's shrunk down in the background, and then end of the show I bring it up so I can get ready to close things down. But what's really weird about it, if you've ever played with YouTube live streaming and you do something like that, all of the messages that occur during the show don't happen on that screen. So until I open up that screen, then they start populating. And usually I fill in enough time that they all populate, and that's how the system remembers it. It doesn't remember by the one that you and I have been watching. So I do this long close and let it populate. But right now it's populating at this rate. Alex's early message. Still waiting. Somali's early message ages ago. So this thing is never going to populate in time. And that means that you won't be able to go back and review the chat sessions. Sorry about that, but that's how life goes. All right, I see no more final questions here. Got a Wilco from Will, so that'll wind things up. As always, I offer my thanks to Mike Myers for this resource that we can all get together and share, to Scott, who's not here, but still, he's my boss and he allows me to do this stuff. To Andrew Hutz, who has done, again, yeoman service work in the back channel. Thank you. I could have, should have, would have brought you on. Next time Scott can't make it, my commitment to bring Andrew Hutz on. He's great with give and take. He will be a wonderful co-host, and he needs some FaceTime, right? Excuse me. But of course, my highest gratitude goes to all of you for coming here. For whatever your motivation may be. This doesn't happen without you. I have the best time talking with you, to you, and at you, and hearing from you. Love your questions. I love your comments. You guys make this show. Oh, and I do want to mention, before I get off into this closure tangent, February, I've been promising this for a long time. My hope was January, but always knew that might get pushed back. We got massive quantities of project that have suddenly ramped up at work. And so my after hours time is being sorely eaten away. And with this Linux Plus study thing, I've told you this before, but I'll tell you again, I do 30 minutes of presentation time every night. It takes somewhere between 2 and 3 hours to get through 30 minutes of presentation, because when he blows something, especially if I believe it to be important, I have to stop and I got to go find what he couldn't make work, figure out how to make it work, and then figure out what the point and the lesson was going to be. And I ran into one of those last night. Usually a couple of minutes I can figure it out, but I have to do that all the time. And I am a note taker. Okay, I mean, I've pretty much every word, not every word that he spoke, but every word on every slide that he's presented, I have recreated from scratch. But he ran into one last night that he abandoned really fast, and it was really, really important. And I had to stop, and it was a hard one to research. I'll give you this as a research project if you're interested. You know that in most Linux distros, ETH0 is the first Ethernet card in a Linux system. In CentOS and other Red Hat distros, It's ENP 0S3 or 3S0, it depends on certain systems. And he was trying to show us how to read the contents of that file and get some information. And the place that he said it existed, it's not in this system. Well, and he always has, either ignores his failures or he makes up some really bogus excuse. And it's almost always, well, this is the latest version of whatever flavor of Linux I'm using, and they probably removed it. Well, so I keep 4 different versions, 4 different distros of Linux running while I'm studying his thing. And everything that he teaches us, I try it on this, and I try it on this, and that, and see which ones have it and which ones don't, and which ones are different. And so I checked all 4 of those, and it wasn't in any of those 4. And I realized then that he was totally wrong about what this was and where it should be. And it took me 35, 45 minutes to find where those things are. And they're in this really esoteric, buried area that you never, ever use. So I offer that to you as your own research project. Find the file where ETH0 or ENP, sorry, 3S0 or 0S3 is in Linux. Now I could have done a search through my whole Linux system, but I wanted to do the real research online. Okay, now for that thing. Back to my shutdown here. I am Dave Rush. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars, and this has been Drama. Dave Rush, Ask Me Anything. I'm the resident Pi specialist. I wish you a great weekend. Take care of each other. Take serious steps to stay healthy. Call or visit your parents and the rest of your family. And never forget, technology is great, but the greatest resource we have are you and I. So with that, good night. I'll be on the Discord channel in 5 or 10 minutes, and I'll see you on the AMAs and Drama next week. I have in my notes that I still got to fix. Happy New Year, and I am out of here. This presentation was recorded before a live audience and is a production of Total Seminars.